Hello, everybody. Welcome in here. A little bit of a humid day. Ain't too bad out there right now. Nice little wind blowing. Kind of looked like it was going to rain there. It may still do it. But yeah, we're in here for the next 2 hours. Listen, change your mind. Welcome in, everybody, again. Open mic. Open mic, no topic. Just whatever anybody wants to talk about or whatever. You know, I'm let it happen. Welcome all trolls and trollettes and whatever. Also, Barry said he was taking a nap. Yeah, he was kind of wondering what happened to him there. And things happen. Yep, I've done that a few times myself. That sounds pretty good there. Yeah, the chicken tortilla soup sounds good. Yeah, just kind of sitting back here today, and I ain't done too much of anything. Went out there to the garden and picked a few more tomatoes and checked on the watermelons I got coming up. Some's ready, maybe in another. I'm gonna give it another couple of weeks anyway, and then they'll be ready to pluck off our. My neighbor, he had some plants in there too that I put in there for him when we searched. He got a couple of watermelons out that he thought might be okay. I don't know. I ain't heard anything back whether he was in count or not. I kind of like to wait on them, you know. But yeah, that's about it today. I ain't done too much of anything as far as chores or anything. Could have been doing something, but didn't. Fiddling around. I done that yesterday. I mostly got all that side stuff done yesterday. I'm still got some little projects in the works, but um, I'll get to them here shortly. I won't be having a live next Saturday night because reasons that I'm not going to be around. I'm going to be out of town for 2 or 3 days, so not going to be no live. I usually don't broadcast things like that, but I ain't worried about it because anybody doing anything that would be a bad mistake. Anyway, yeah, no live next week, next Saturday night. Going camping and going with the grandkids, and daughter and her husband. Went down there. We're going to spend 2 days coming back Sunday. I'll miss Sunday morning church, but that's okay. I'll be there for Sunday night services. Yep. Want to chill and take it easy, or get you a little change of scenery and stuff like that. I don't really have too much really to talk about. I'm not going to talk about any kind of political stuff, but everybody gets enough of that on a daily basis watching these other channels. So I'm not going to get into that. I have my opinions on things, but it is what it is. And hope everybody is doing well out there today, or not having that little salmonella thing going on and the running diarrhea. Hope nobody's had that. That's if it ain't one thing, it's another anyway. We can't get by, seems like, without having some sort of crises. And I haven't been putting out any content per se here lately. I got a few little things to do, but I'll get to it. Might do a little shorts here and there, in between times. I got some stuff that is dropping in November, and up to that point, that's pretty much it. Complaining about a year, basically, I'll put a short out whenever I, get the opportunity, or it's noteworthy to do a video or something like that on whatever, and everything. But yeah, just been doing the summertime stuff, doing things out in the yard and little projects, and first one thing and another. Hello there, Janet Potter. Welcome in. We got Shawnee and Barry in there. That's good to walk. Walking's good. I wish I could do more of it. I get plenty of exercise, walking around doing things like that, but I enjoy walking. I can walk here behind the house if I want to, and it'd be actually a pretty good walk. Or I've got a couple of places I can go to walk, but lightning hit a hog barn. Well, there's some bacon there, I reckon. That's crispy bacon. Crispy, extra crispy. Hope they got the hogs out before it burnt down, but you know how that goes. That's just the way things are. You can never be too careful or cover every contingency. There's always something that will catch you off guard, and hey, that's life. That's the way life is. It's full of surprises. It depends. It ain't so much the whatever it is that comes into your life, it's how you go about dealing with it. If you let it drag you down and everything, then, you know, that's not good. It's how you deal with it. You deal with it in the right way. Yeah, they're coming out. They're finding all kinds of corruption in every nook and cranny, it seems like, which we all know that I wasn't going to get political, but I will for a little bit. It's open mic, so. You know, every nook and cranny that seems like, and we all know it's all corrupt in one fashion or another, and but it's coming to light. But you know, nothing will ever be done. Uh, you know, they'll get them and they'll have their court day in court and this and that and whatever. And at the end of the day, depending on who they are or what they are, nothing will ever be done. And in my opinion, which is in my opinion, I believe it's all a distraction to begin with. You know. Now, I know Mike Lindell, what I know of him, but that right there makes no sense. Why would you? The guy, they're his pillows. He manufactures them. And if he wants to toss them out to the public, I can't see how that would be campaign finance rules violation. I can't see it. It's just, see, they've had Mike Lindell in their sights for a long time. The Democrats have, and he's really poked that bear pretty hard. And yeah, they're after him, but at the end of the day, you know, they're not. You know, and it's to tell you that it's all silly. It makes no sense. You know, he wasn't saying, here's a pillow, vote for so and so. You know, but they're, you know, it ain't gonna amount to anything. They're just kind of trying to show themselves. Well, I mean, you know, I still can't see how that was a violation. I can't see it. You know, if he was donating them to a political candidate, I would say whatever. He's using this, you know, he's not, I don't know. I have to say, I have not heard that one right there. I'll have to research that a little bit on Mike Lindell. Well, I mean, that may be the rule, but for me, if somebody wants to throw me a pillow, even if it's a Democrat or whatever, I'll take it. I'll take the pillow. That doesn't mean I'm going to vote for her. I'll take the pillow. You know, if it ain't that, it's something else. So they've been after him for a long time anyway. And on first one thing, now he's been in lawsuits before, and well, I haven't heard of that one. I'll have to, but I don't think, it's just what it is boils down to. If somebody, now, if it'd been somebody with a D on their end, they wouldn't have said a thing. Nothing. But that's the state of affairs now in this country. It's all distraction to begin with. Every bit of it's a distraction. Everybody look at what's going on right here, while there's something else going on over there that you'll never notice until it's too late. Yeah, I'd like to have my reality back too, Barry. Well, I hate anybody having any kind of problems, regardless of the politics. But hey, I don't know. It's just wish them well. That's all you can do. I won't be swayed by that. I vote my conscience, and I vote how I see it, not because of what somebody has touted over the campaign trail or the radio, TV, whatever. I don't pay attention to that. I'm very astute in picking someone and who I'm going to cast my vote for. I'm not going to be brainwashed to go one way or the other. Politics has many bugs there, Janet. You're right. It's all distraction, every bit of it. We need to concentrate on getting these illegal immigrants straightened out in this country, or we're going to be like England. They damn near took over that country, the Muslims and all that. They come to this country or that country. They don't want to assimilate into the culture. Nobody says they have to give up their identity, but if you're going to come to another country to live, you should at least go through the process and want to be part of that country. You can still keep your beliefs and all that. According to the Constitution, that's all written down. But these people don't want to do that. They want to come into this country and try to tell people that is born and raised here how to live according to their preferences. They don't want to assimilate like the Borg on Star Trek. They don't want to assimilate. And poor old England over there, they so weak-kneed and weak-armed over there that they completely. I'm talking about the government now. I'm not talking about the people. Let them take over, and you see what you got right now. Look over in Italy, what's going on over there now. It's a terrible mess in this world. People needs to understand that. And all this propaganda has been spewed over the TV, radio, and social media. People need to quit paying attention to it. And it's all right to be aware of what's going on, but don't let it consume you to the point that you'll believe everything, regardless of what it is. You need to start, everybody needs to start using this right here. And these two things you got right here, and these two things you got right here. It's all right to keep track of what's going on and everything, but at the same time, you need to gather all the information that you're hearing and see what makes sense and what don't. And it's very easy to see all the stupid stuff that is going on in this world right now. Very easy. It's not hard. I've closed my mind to it, and I look at it. I was watching somebody the other day. They were talking about it. Says the best thing you can do is to treat it all as a lie, and then sort it out. You know, common sense is gone for most people. Common sense used to be a thing back in the day that, you know, it was the normal activity. What is normal now? Who knows? Back then, you know, when they said you need to have a little common sense, that meant smarts, able to discern right from wrong and everything. And, you don't see that no more. It's just stupid. Very few people out there are using what the good Lord gave them is 2 eyes, 2 ears, and a brain. Keep this part shut. This right here, keep it shut. And just use the rest of it. And you'll be a lot better off. I mean, it's helped me tremendously. I mean, I can relate back in the day of, well, we had the internet was around, but mostly where you got your information for a whole lot of people was shortwave radio. They would have different on a particular station. That station would cover. They'd have different programs on there. WWCR was one of them, and they would have several different programs, and some were off the wall stuff, and some, you know, was political. There was a point there, and I'll admit to it, that, dude, I had all that drawn up in my head, and it was like consuming me, consuming my every thought. And a light bulb, a very dim light bulb, went off above my head, and I turned that shortwave off and left it off for about 2 years and never touched it. Walked by it every day, never touched it. And life went on, and I calmed down, and everything went back to normal. That's what, and the social media is the same way right now. YouTube, Twitter, or X, TikTok, whole thing, same stuff. There's some good programs out there. That's good information, and but there's some crazy stuff out there, dude. It's like, oh my God. And most of them are young people putting that garbage out. Well, there's some older people that's doing it too, but not so many. It's crazy stuff. But you're sitting there going, oh my God. I didn't, mind you, I don't watch them. I just probably about 5 or 10 minutes into it. I mainly just watch it just to see what they're going to talk about. And oh my God. And with the introduction of AI, it's took the magic out of everything. I've seen people use AI for everything on there. It's like no creativity, none whatsoever. Let the AI do it. I mean, it's much easier just let it do it, and you can tell it's not good. It's not good stuff. It's not. It's not. It's not entertaining at all. I'm sorry to say that most of our movies that's coming out right now, 97% of it is AI generated. So now that there very few people can do that, Shawnee. Very, very few people can do that. Well, they're talking about burning books now, the older books, so that I buy up every older. I mean, I'm talking about older educational books. I'm talking about books that in the late 1800s back down to maybe 1930, something like that. You better get them while you can. If you run across an old book, you better educational book, you better be getting it and just putting it up, because that's going to be a commodity that's going to be very sought for. And I'm sorry to say that AI is completely destroying everybody's, the younger people especially. I'm not talking about the older people like us. I'm talking about the younger people that's now growing up and accustomed to all this crap. They don't know any difference. They don't, and you really feel sorry for them. They don't know no difference. To them, it's just normal stuff. They don't know what it means to have lessons taught to you by books that tell you the truth, which that's another rabbit hole that I don't want to get into tonight because I ain't got enough time. But what is the truth? They're not going to tell us the truth of everything. So, and that's down to education and everything. But these young people growing up are definitely not going to get the truth. They're going to get whatever the state puts out there for them to consume. And, there's no creativity. They don't have to think. They let the computer do it. It's just sad. Very few kids growing up right now are not in that group, simply because they have parents and grandparents or whatever that's teaching them, the alternative information. Stuff they need to know, like cursive, stuff like that. Yeah, they are destroyed. That's what they were doing. They're transcribing them to AI, and after see what it is, after they do that, after all the books, the old books, are transcribed to AI, they can go right in there and alter that. And who's going to know the difference unless you have got a stash of old books yourself that you can sit there and go back? Well, hey, that don't sound right. I'm gonna go back there and check it in my older books. And I'm talking about the late 1800s, early 1900s is the best area, because it wasn't so. It was diluted a little bit, but not as much as it is today. But anyway, but kids are going to have to, good, there's a lot of good parents out there are trying their best, like Shawnee and everybody else. It's trying to teach their kids. It's okay for them to experience technology and stuff like that. I'm not saying not allow them to have it, but get them used to being disciplined on it. That's the key, being disciplined. Knowing when to shut it off and knowing when not to believe everything you read on it. It's a good thing. Technology is great. Computers are great. Internet's great. It's a very, useful tool if it's used right. But it's being abused, and there's not a thing we can do about it. Not anything. I mean, we just have to. You Google that. You Google that information, Connie. You Google that. Well, that's just like Homestead said right there, just like they changed the movies. Yeah. If you can get your hands on older movies, buy them up. If they're on DVD, buy them up. Or VHS, buy them up. And if you can run across an old VCR somewhere at a yard sale or something, buy it. Buy it and put it up. Make sure you get just the regular VCR. Don't get one that's a combo, because them things were junk. VCR and DVD combo, they were junk. They didn't last a year. Every one I ever had it lasted about a year. But I digress. Anyway, we all know what to do. We're just going to have to do it the best way we can, and everything else will take care of itself if we don't let it overwhelm us, But yeah, I'm telling you, I mean, I feel for Shawnee and some of these younger people that's had kids here recently. I got a great niece that has had her baby the other day, and it was 5 pounds, but those children that are coming up are not going to have the same world as we had growing up. It's not going to be, and that's the sad part. If you sit and think about it, that's really sad. Back when I was born, I'm sure probably somebody said the same thing about my generation that was born in '64. They're not going to have the same. It's not the same world as it was when I grew up. Well, no, it's not. But I think this world is a little bit more uh, bad, a little bit worse is the right word, to raise kids. It's extremely difficult to raise kids now. No matter what the best you can do, the government's always right in your mouth, your business every day. You can't raise your kids the way they should be raised. And there's a whole lot of parents, they'll give them that little bitty electronic device or put them in front of the television with a streaming cartoon channel, and they'll plant them right there in front of the TV, and that's the babysitter. And they go back there, and the parents do, and they'll go back there and get on YouTube and play around, whatever. And there the kid is all day. They sit there in front of that TV all day. I've seen it done more times than I can count. Well, no wonder the kids grow up like they are. Well, I mean, it's just that's natural way of things happening. They're going to naturally be that way. They're going to be brain dead and zoned out. The parents not sitting there teaching them right from wrong. They get into something, they'll just let them go, not discipline them. They'll throw a fit in the store. They'll kick and scream around like they're having a convulsion or a seizure or something like that. And there you are to embarrass the crap out of yourself. And it gets to the point, well, I can't take little Joey to the store with me anymore because he throws a fit every time I go. That sort of thing. And I've seen kids that were perfectly the best kids in the world when they went places like that. It depends on how they're raised. People can say what they want to. It didn't kill me one bit to have my bottom spanked. And I deserved every one of them I got. And that's what's wrong with the kids nowadays, is they have no respect for their parents, let alone the authorities. They turn them loose, they'll arrest them, they'll get in trouble in some places. They'll rob, steal cars, whatever. They'll go before the judge, and the judge will, instead of giving them something to think about for about 30 days or something like that, turn them loose on bail. And sometimes it ain't even bail. Sometimes they don't even have to pay nothing. A week or two passes, and they're right after that little incident wears off, right back into it again. They have no consequences until at some point one of them runs across the wrong person, and they try to do that to that person, and they wind up getting wounded or unalived. And that's the sad part about it. And people boo-hooing around, ooh. Well, what did you think was going to happen? But anyway, that's enough of that rant. We wind up finding things to talk about after all, seem like. But yeah. Shawnee, and she does a great job with them kids there, from what I see. And I've seen a whole lot other parents like her. My daughter's one of them. She raised them kids. You know, they're really nice kids. I have to say that even though I am the grandparent, I still have to say it because it's true. I mean, you know, well, they don't. A lot of times, the police don't even have to do it. There, Janet. They run across the wrong person trying to do that, trying to steal from them or something like that, and they pop them. You know. All right, there, Rob. Appreciate you. We know you're in there somewhere. Just don't burn yourself. Don't have no accident there, Homestead. We don't want you to have an accident. But yeah, I ain't like I said, we wound up having some little something to talk about. I like to talk about nice things for change. All this other stuff it's true and factual and it's reality. But I think people needs a distraction from all this. It doesn't make the problem go away, but it helps you cope with it if you can think about or do something else. Uh, that's why people are so uptight right now because it's every time it's in their face each and every day. Every time you turn the television on or hop on social media, what the first thing you see is in your stream there, you know, where whatever they call it on YouTube, I can't recommendations or whatever. There it is. You know, people need a break from this stuff. It's the only way I know to break it, you get a break from it is to reach over. It does, you know, the computer or the television uh, does have a on and off button, and it's very easy to just reach over and just shut that thing off and not and throw a blanket over the if you got a laptop or even if you got a desktop, just throw a blanket over it and cover it over where you don't have to look at it. Same way with the television. Uh, the one thing I will say about the streaming services is that you can select what you want to watch, what genre. You know, I like older television shows and things like that. And the only problem with some of those streaming services is the commercials. Uh, on Pluto, they depends on what I'm watching. Now, every one of the channels on Pluto are not that way, but certain ones I found out that no, when you're watching it, a certain commercial will pop up each and every time. Which what I do as soon as it comes on there, I'll reach over and hit that mute button and hit the back button. That it shows just the lineup, you know. And I wait till after that commercial's over, and I'll go back to business as usual. It's crap like that I don't want to see. It's very disgusting, and everybody knows what I'm talking about. Without me having, I don't care to say it on here, but I shouldn't have to. Everybody should know what I'm talking about. But yeah. Other than that, you can select what you want to watch, and you don't have to watch news. If you don't want to watch news, you don't have to. But It's in your face, though. In one form or another, it's in your face. And people need a distraction from it all. But they're just going to have to do it. If you don't, it's going to drive you crazy. Yeah, it's going to drive you crazy. He has of using everything that he can use against you. Now, if you're not a Christian, then he don't bother you so much because he knows he has you, or he thinks he does anyway. But when you're a Christian, you'll have everything against you each and every day. People think it, oh, being a Christian is all roses and everything. No, it's not. It's a constant battle each and every day. And anybody that's a Christian and says they're perfect, they're not. I got news for you. But there was only one that was perfect, and he died on the cross for everybody's sins. But you're not perfect. You can't be while you're on this earth. You can't be perfect. No matter how hard you try, you cannot be perfect. You can follow all the rules to the letter, and you're not going to be perfect. You're going to stand before him, and he's going to say, no, you're as filthy rags. But you got to do the best you can do as a Christian. You must do the best you can do. It's hard. There's always temptations each and every day. Especially if you watch television and social media and stuff. It's all kinds of stuff. It gets in your head. As soon as it gets in your eye, it gets in your head. You say, commercials and stuff like that is the worst ones for me. But I'm dealing with it. Like I said a while ago, I'll flip it off until the commercial's over, and then I'll put it back on. But everybody's different. There ain't no magic. Well, there is a magic bullet to it all. You just got to know Christ as your Lord and Savior, and then that's the magic bullet. But so many people don't see it that way, and that's sad. But anyway, that's my take on the whole thing, and I'm not ashamed to admit it, because the Bible says, God, if you're ashamed to talk about Him, then He's going to be ashamed to talk to the Father for you. No, I'm not. But that's the state of the world right now, and everything's crazy town, and nothing makes sense. Good is wrong, bad is good, down is up, and up is down. It's just crazy. And what's the sad part about the whole thing is most people don't even notice it. They don't notice it. They kind of, oh well, I'm busy working 3 jobs in order to keep food on the table, which I understand that, and that's sad in itself. I ain't got time for all this other hoopla, and I've had some say, well, I ain't got time to go to church or be religious or whatever. I'm busy working 5 jobs just to keep food on the table. That's still no excuse. It doesn't cost anything to do it. Nothing. Jesus paid the cost totally. There ain't no money involved. You don't have to have a subscription. You certainly don't have to have a subscription. Which that's another rabbit hole that we could have another live stream about in the future, maybe. But I don't know. My God, it's just 9:48 p.m. my time. I thought it was later than that. Well, I didn't aim for the preach a message, but it did. I shamefully faction. I'm making up. I mean, all you have to do is just, around you and right face each and every. My camera keeps on wanting to blink out. Why does it do that? Huh. I hope it didn't. I wonder if it done it on y'all's end. It go blank, go black, and it'd pop back in. It's done that a few times here lately in the last little bit. Maybe I'm hitting the maybe I'm hitting a mark somewhere at generally that happens. That's not being paranoid, I don't guess, but whatever. Well, yeah, it's a little jumpy. Yeah, I can see it's a little glitchy. Janet Potter says it's a little glitchy. Now, I may have to go to my avatar and see if that makes any difference. Yeah, there we are. Welcome in there, Carol. Hello, Carol. I seen you in there a minute ago. Yeah, the internet's probably having a conniption fit. I'll just go off video camera for a while. Maybe that'll help it a little bit. At least I'll get through this program tonight. Probably. I don't see nothing else that I have open, so I don't have any other tabs running. Up. It just the screen just went. StreamYard's screen just went. It just kind of flashed black just for a second or half a second, and it would. It's done it 3 or 4 times here during the live. It's never done that before with me. But yes, it could be a internet problem. It wouldn't surprise me any. I mean, wouldn't surprise me. And problem. That's another topic we could get into. Also, the internet, these high internet bills that they charge us with, and the crappy service. I don't mind paying for something if it's worth what I'm paying for. I pay $100 and some odd dollars for internet, and 80% of the time it's very slow and choppy and lagging, and they throttle the speed down. And even though we've dropped down to the lower package, just because the package we had before that was just no better, and we was paying more. I think about $20 or $30 more. So why not cut down, to the. But that's just the way with anything else. I mean, nothing you buy is worth it anymore. Groceries and everything else, you can't get nothing that. I don't know about anybody else, but I bought gallons of milk and put it in the refrigerator. And if you can get 2 or 3 days out of it, you're lucky. And I once thought it was the refrigerator, but it's plenty cool enough for everything else. Everything else is just as cool, like it's supposed to be. But that milk would sit right there and clabber up her after about 3 days. And I've never had that happen before. But it may not be nothing, but we got Barry in there. I think he popped in there into the house. Hello there.
Everybody
welcome in there.
Happy. Everyone be happy. I'm tired of all this negative crap. Be careful.
We should all be happy and with what we got.
But I totally get where you're coming from. I'm getting tired of paying bills, period.
Yeah, this internet is a joke to start with. They got you. I mean, you got to pay for it or not have it at all.
Well, that's an option.
Yeah, it's always an option. You can just say, hey, I don't need, and I don't. Really, I don't. But, yeah, me too there. I'm grateful with what I got. Yeah. Things happen.
Janet, I totally get that. Every time one comes up due, there's more going out than what there is staying in.
Boy, I can tell you that right now. I can be very, I experienced that this month. Tight. It was tight.
It's not that I want to be rich. I don't, but I want to be comfortable. And it seems like the only way you could be comfortable is not have to pay any bills.
Well, that's true, but they got you on that too. You can't.
No, they don't.
If you go without paying anything.
Well, if you turn that crap off, it's like
you got to. Get you a tent and live like a hermit. What everybody have to do. It's the only thing you can do. That's the way it is anymore. We just got to deal with it the best you can. And it's hard, very hard. Very hard.
And how convenient of Kinetic to be the only service out here short of Starlink. And they have one tier. And that's it. You want to lower your bandwidth? Oh, well, I'm sorry. We just offer this one.
No, they're lying to you. Yeah, they're lying to you. They got lower tiers.
I'm just so tired of paying bills.
Oh, I know what you're talking about on that, Carl. I do. If it hadn't been for some gracious people helping me out this month, I'd have been in a tight fix. And, the good Lord saw fit for me to have a way to deal with it. It's one thing after another, and it always hits you when you least expect it. Oh, if you're expecting something to go wrong, like a car repair or something like that, it generally never happens. That's what kind of vibe I'm getting from it. I don't know if everybody else is getting the same vibe or not. Maybe Homestead, he might be getting that vibe while he's cooking and listening. Well, those people there, and I hate to talk bad about them, but it's true. They really have no concept of reality, it seems like. Well, they'll climb the top of that tree on a little flimsy ladder that there's no way in for no amount of money that I would climb on. Well, they'd run up that ladder and sit there in the top of that tree or whatever it's at, wind blowing and that ladder moving back and forward. You're going, oh my God, at any time he's just going to splat the ground. And there he'll be broken up and everything if it don't take him out of here. These people stupid. Yeah. There ain't no way I'm going to climb up a high place. Now, I don't mind climbing high places, but I'm not going to do it unless I got the right equipment. They may be a different breed. Yeah, they are. Most of them are stupid.
I'm sorry, tower climbers are a different breed. When you could climb a 2,500 foot tower and not even think about it, that is a whole different breed.
Oh yeah, there ain't no way in the heck I'd do that. There ain't no, I don't care. I don't know way. There's no way.
What they do, and they pay really well.
Somebody's got to do it, and they do it. It's usually two of them that does it.
Had I been in better health, I would have took up the job because I knew it paid really well. You would retire, and you would retire really comfortably because
I've been on high places before, but I know when it was safe and when it wasn't. I'm
People
not.
look at people look at a radio tower and they go, "Wow, that thing's huge," and it looks like it's not even. It looks really strong. Looks like it would move. Oh, believe me, they move. The higher you go, the more you feel it. I'm not
Well,
saying I
Carl,
but
if you'd have gave him that ladder, which I don't know if you did or not, but see, if you gave them that ladder to use and something happened, they blame you. See, that's where they got you at. So you got to say, no, if you don't have your own ladder, I'm not giving you mine to use. Because if they fell off that ladder, guess what? Oh, it's their ladder. Their ladder's not up to code or something. Then you'll get a lawsuit. And that's how people are. They're looking for a way to sue people. Unfortunately, I worked in construction and built things, and I've been on very high places before, and the wind would be blowing so hard that you're sitting there and you can feel the whole barn moving, and you're sitting up there on the plate putting the rafters in, and that whole barn sitting there swaying. You can feel it swaying, and you're thinking all the same time, what in the world am I doing up here? And I don't know, but anymore yeah, I'm sure it is, Carol. I'm sure it's a lot of criminal elements in that, and other businesses as well. I've been in some questionable places before that, no, I'm not doing it. I'm not climbing it. I'm not getting up there. Definitely refused to do it. And I was working for my dad. I said, I'm not going up there. I'm not. And when he tells you not to go up there, you better be listening. No, and he tells the owner, no, we're not going to do it. It's too dangerous. We're not going to do it. Because the structure could have been fixed, but it was where it was at was what was so dangerous about it. Part of the barn was over top of it was built on the side of the hill basically, and the foundation was in bad shape, and a tornado already it went through there about a month before that, and it was already, and that's what we were doing, fixing damage. It wouldn't hurt that bad. It was just a little bit of roofing we had to do, but we didn't do it. We'd done everything else, but we didn't fix that barn. That was the only barn that I can remember that we didn't complete it because it was just, well, we didn't do nothing to it. We started to and didn't. Because it's just too dangerous to work with. Now, if it'd been on flat ground, yeah. But the foundation was already in bad shape. From that tornado, it didn't help anything. And that you could sit there, you'd be in there, you could hear it popping and everything. And it was an old barn to begin with. It was like old poles. It was a very old barn. But yeah, you got to have the right equipment to do anything. And I learned that not to, especially when it comes to ladders and stuff like that. no, unless you know the person very well, I wouldn't let a stranger borrow my ladder, because if something ever happened, you'd be the first one they come to. Everybody needs to vent there, Carol. That's how you relieve pressure, just like a steam boiler. You got to have that relief valve every once in a while.
That's what she said.
You gotta have people to talk to, whatever. Kind of vent your frustrations. Not that anybody listens. Both people don't listen, but I mean, it still don't matter. You still vent.
Huh? What? I wasn't listening. What?
It's like Barry, hollered at him this afternoon. No, Barry answered me back, and I was trying my best to aggravate him to where he'd come back. Usually it works. Usually I can fish him out of the background, whatever he's done, he eventually will answer, because I use old techniques from the CB radio to draw him out. That didn't work. I said, huh. I never once thought you might have been asleep. But yeah, he was asleep eventually. Evidently, I was relaying different scenarios over the radio that I thought might have happened to you, but they was all theories anyway.
I had a walkie-talkie sitting right there on the bed next to me, but as you heard just now, the battery's dead.
Oh, well, that happens too, don't it?
And I can't hear the base station on the other side of the house, because you have to have a fan on in that other room. Or
Homestead said he's seen gravity working and don't need to test it. No, me neither. Now, I've had some close calls before. I'm telling you. It'll make you think you'll think your process out. Now, that was Barry over beeping. But yeah, I don't know. It is what it is. Ain't nothing. One day at a time is how we look at it, should look at it. And, long story short, and the moral to the story is that at the end of the day, we're a lot better off. Life is stressful enough without adding to it. It's going to catch us and make us stressed out and on anything, no matter how much you try to avoid it. And adding to it is just silly. Oh, God. Yeah, them femur breaks are very dangerous, sir, Carol. Very dangerous. You got to be careful on the femur break, because that main artery runs up to your leg right there, and depending on where it's broke at, it's very dangerous. If that bone accidentally clips it, you'll bleed to death in no time. I mean, it's very dangerous. We run into that situation. I run into that situation a lot. Car accidents were the worst for that. but you had to. Wow, I've never heard that happening, but yeah. And the femur fractures are very dangerous, like I said. See, you got that main artery that runs right up your leg, upper part of your leg. Yeah. These old people older people that fall and break their hips a lot. That's very bad too. We had what they call it was a splint, leg splint, made for just for that type of injury. You'd slide it over the leg and it inflated, which kept everything from moving. And you put them on the board and all that. Most usually, them femur fractures, we always flew them out. We never did try to transport them very far, just to the landing pad wherever it was at. And they usually flew to Lexington. And
You makeshift LZ.
yeah, or a makeshift. Yeah, most usually it was a makeshift LZ that was pre-designated. You know, we already know ahead of time which one it'd be.
Usually they usually have EMS contact them and say, "Yeah, we've got a spot for you to land," and they give them the coordinates. And
most time, if it was on Hall's Gap, if it was on top of Hall's Gap over there, the Lincoln County High School would be the LZ. Anywhere from that, and if it was closer to Waynesburg, we'd have the Waynesburg Rescue their lot out there. That was another LZ, and we have landed them right in the middle of somebody's field before. The chopper be coming to our location, just tell them we'd have the fire department out there, and they'd make a perimeter and away from power lines, mind you. Look for the lights. Oh, I need to catch up on this. Yeah, well, as morbid as that sounds, that happens. Of course, you don't do it in front of, the public, but to yourself, you do. Because for that very reason, you gotta block your mind out. And that's how we deal with it. You know, it's I don't know. I think we was in the mid 80s today. It seemed like it anyway. It kind of looked like it was going to rain there this afternoon. Clouding up pretty good, you know. Looked like a rain cloud, but who knows anymore. I never did look at the radar. Yeah, well, the public wasn't around to see it anyway. But that's how we most people wouldn't say nothing. And some would, you know, just to try to buffer it out, basically. Yeah. Yo, pretty soon be experiencing hurricane season, or if it's already there, a thing. And not getting back on that, the EMS stuff. It's hard to come home after a shift and tell your husband or your wife, well, how was your day? You can't tell them because they don't, as much as you want to tell them, you can't put it in any kind of words that they can understand. You know, they can understand that you've seen some bad stuff, but at the end of the day, you can't. You know what I'm saying? It's exactly like the veterans come back from war. They can't tell nobody. A lot of them will talk about what they've done, but they won't go into details because unless if you've been in the thick of it yourself, you don't understand it. And it's the same thing. There's a lot of times now, even though I've been out of it for a while, sometimes you think about different things. It'll kind of pop in your mind there every once in a while. You'll be sitting there doing something, or just sitting there in general, just kind of daydreaming, and all of a sudden it'll pop in your mind. Certain things, you know. And
I'm gonna let a cat out. I'll be right back.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes.
Yeah, there was a couple of times that I did have PTSD, and probably still have it to a certain extent, but nothing like it used to be. You just got to go on and be done with it. A lot of times I just didn't want to even talk about it, you know. At the time you were doing your job, you never thought about it. It was after you got back to the building and stuff is when it hit you. But you didn't have time to sit there and cry about it or whatever. The tone would go off and you'd have to hit out again. Each run was different. You had to put the last one out of your head and go on with it. It's a very stressful job. It is. And not it's like the old saying is, not everybody can do it. It does, in my opinion, take a special person. I mean, somebody that, you know, there's a lot of young people out there now doing it, but I don't think the life expectancy of these younger people is going to be very long. What I mean by life expectancy, I mean being in the service. You know, they might do it for 3 or 4 years, maybe 6, but it depends on how they deal with it. Most of them's not going to be in there very long. No, that's okay there, Carl. You're not reminding me of anything much. It's just a thing, it's just what it is. It's like talking about the weather basically anymore. Yeah. A lot of people took it kind of a job is what it was, a job. Oh, I'm just in here for the paycheck, and I don't care about anything else. Those are the wrong people to be in there. You got to have a heart, and you got to have some part of compassion for people, especially elderly people. And you got to have your heart right with the good Lord too. That's the main thing. And back then I was saved, but I wasn't. I had slidden away, and with that kind of work, you couldn't go to church. Most time I had to work weekends. Every once in a while, I'd get a Sunday off. Every once in a while, that's only because I demanded it. I said I need Sunday off. Every other Sunday is what I got off, and if you can go, they can say what they want to. If you can do that job without having some sort of a religious background in your system, you're not going to be in it long. I've had some very close calls, and thinking back today, I said, well, the other day I was thinking about some of the stuff that I had to do. My God, did I actually do that? And not even think about it when I was doing it. Sitting there, putting a life vest on and grabbing hold of a cable that was stretched across the river, put that life vest on, grabbing hold of that cable and walking it across the river just to get to a house that was flooded. We had to evacuate them people, them young kids in there too, and put them on rubber boats and guided them back across. Thinking about that, and one little slip. And I wasn't tied to the cable at all. Should have been, but I wasn't. It wouldn't have mattered if I was. One little slip. Yeah. There, you know, I wouldn't say I wouldn't do it today if I had to, but my God, you know, crazy stuff. And my hats off to those that are doing it right now. I know what they're going through with. You get very little thanks. Not that I was looking for any thanks, you know, or thank you or anything like that, but every once in a while you get a thank you and a hug and this and that, which meant a lot. You know, it gives you a purpose that you were doing something anyway, not just there for their convenience. And I've had some funny episodes before. I won't go into it right now, but they were some pretty pretty funny. Well, I'll tell one. I won't give no names, but I was working weekends and we're Stanford, and we got a call to go to apartments out there. I can't remember. You may remember the apartments. It's out there on one. Go through the intersection there of 27 and the main street there, Barry. You know what I'm talking about, and keep going across out that way, and to be on the left out there it was. I think.
Yeah, it's right next to Save a Lot.
And
Star Avenue.
Yeah. I don't know why I couldn't think of it, but anyway. We went up there, called a female having problems or some kind of medical thing. Me and my partner Ed, we rolled up there and it was on the top floor, walked up the steps, you know, to it. Knocked on the door and everything, EMS and all this. Heard some rattling and door popped open. The girl there come to the door and she didn't have a stitch of clothes on. Not a stitch. You're sitting there going, huh? You like, you know, you're not expecting that. Oh, well. And well, what's the problem with you? What's going on tonight? Blah, 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 blah. There's nothing we can do to help you. And well, like we didn't transport her, but on the way back to the building, we was just laughing about it the whole way. This little thing that comes to mind more than anything. That one little instant right there. It was the most funniest thing there was. And as soon as that door popped open, there she was, not a stitch of clothes on. What do you do at that moment? You're going, you're sitting there thinking of some kind of, when you roll up on something like that, you're thinking whatever the dispatched it out for, you know, you're thinking of what you need to do when you get there and everything. Wow, they never prepared us for that. My partner, he was an older like gentleman, and he said some choice words on the way back, but it was he said something on the matter on the, you know, like, well, I think I might need to go back. He might have. We said, well, maybe she'll have another episode. I'll just drop you off and let you take care of the problem. You can holler if you need any assistance. Something like that. You had to joke about it, because if you didn't, you know. And we've had people that, what's wrong with you? Roll up on the scene, you know, parking lot. I think it's up there Star Avenue again. woman having some kind of mental problem or breakdown or something. That was an everyday occurrence in Stanford for some reason. If it wasn't her, it was somebody else. But we rode up on her several times. What's wrong with you today? Oh, my brush is not cooperating with me. It's fussing at me. And it won't listen to me. She's talking to her brush. And, well, we'll take you to the hospital and let them see if they can help you. Okay.
Ephraim McDowell, 4th floor.
Well, we took her to one time we did take her from Fort Logan to Ephraim McDowell. That was for that reason. But anyway, it was just like, you know.
Take that elevator. It's got the special floor.
We ran on one particular person for so many times that as soon as dispatched the address, we knowed exactly who it was.
Yeah.
We didn't even have to have, oh my God, here we go again. Yeah, we joked about that. Of course, I know he wasn't going. I said, no, you don't need to go back there, Ed, because we need to kind of take our shift, finish our shift out. We was hoping we wouldn't have to go back out there again that night. But yeah, with her, it's funny things like that with EMS. You never know what you're going to run up on. Every run was different. Every run. It wasn't boring. By no means. Everybody thinks that, oh, it's medical. You're going to just deal with a certain type. No, it's always different. Oh, wait. But yeah, as a firefighter, I had different little episodes too that I had to deal with that wasn't very good. Dealing with dead bodies and people that's been burnt completely up. Those who wasn't burnt, more or less cooked. The heat cooked them. It was like he was cooking a roast or something, steaming it. But yeah, it's, I can't say I miss it. I do in a certain way. I do miss it, but at the same time, there's no way I'd do that stuff today. No, not the stuff that's going on now. No, all this drug. We had drug problems we had to deal with back then, but it wasn't like it is now. And even though they have better laws now than they did back then, to protect the first responders, from people on the scene, you can't interfere with the public cannot interfere with a first responder in performance of his duty. You get one warning, and if you try to interfere second time, then you're going to go to jail and face a felony. Which that's the best thing that could ever done. It protects, because you're sitting there working on somebody or doing something, unless you got unless your partner or whatever is looking over your shoulder and watching your back, you're not going to know what's going to happen. You're busy taking care of that person, you know. Get a knife in the back or anything nowadays. But yeah, I don't know. It's we kind of got I kind of got semi. Well, I wouldn't say famous, but we had to. You remember when Barry, when that town cop in Stanford had that accident on that buggy?
Yeah.
And we had to respond to that, and a few months later, we got asked to reenact that for Rescue 911. That show would come on. People think that's fun. Oh my God, that was the most aggravatingest thing to do. I'd rather be out there making runs. Oh, in cities, there's no way I'd work in that kind of a field in the cities. There ain't no way. We had a big territory we had to cover. Not only Stanford, we had quite a bit of territory to cover, and there'd be some days that you wouldn't do nothing. You wouldn't make the first run, and I can remember in 1 week we had 3 or 4 days on my shift. I remember I pulled 2 shifts that I didn't even make a run. You know, but boy, when it started, golly. And every time when that moon was full, you can guarantee you're going to have a long night or a long day and night. There's been several times that when I rode out in the morning, I never did get back to the building until the next morning. Have a big stack of run papers that run reports that we had there from the runs we made that day. Had to get all of them filed away and everything before the shift was over. Oh my God. Every time that moon was full, you could just guarantee it. Yeah, that deal with that Rescue 911, there was people that were there that wasn't there when it actually happened. That's all I can say. Which I didn't say anything. Big deal. Who cares? But I don't toot my own horn. At the end of the day, I was glad When at the end of my shift, I will, when I clocked out, left out that door and got in my car, unless I was on call, my radio was shut off. I'd leave it on until I got home, but then I would shut it off because I did not want to hear it. It's just, you'd forget about everything. You had to put it all out of your mind, because if you didn't, it would drive you nuts. Oh, yeah, I pulled a 24 and a 16, 24 one day, maybe off one day, and then pull a 16. And sometimes I'd pull a 24 and a 16 together. There was many days I wasn't home. A lot of days there that my two young kids there, I didn't see much of them. But that's part of the job. You had to make a living. But I don't know. I just hope nobody gets the pooping disease or the pooping virus from eating lettuce. And now it's eggs, salmonella and eggs from Kroger, and there were some other sources that they mentioned. I can't remember what. Well, I do remember Kroger was one of them. Salmonella. I don't know. It seemed like every time you turn around, they blaming something for the reason. Next week, it's probably going to be chocolate causes some sort of illness other than diabetes.
I just like, just take my chances, because I got to be able to eat something. What you gonna do? Sit there just not eat? It's like, what are you supposed to do? Hello?
Oh yeah, I was reading chat there. Yeah, we've had to do a lot of that too. Hang back, let law enforcement assess the situation, and before we roll in. One time we waited for about 30 minutes, sitting there pretty close to the location, waiting for law enforcement to tell dispatch that either go in or come on in or signal 8, one of the two. We waited there almost 45 minutes one time. It was late night. Dispatch, you got any more traffic from law enforcement? Oh, they said you could signal 8. How long was you going to wait till you told us?
Yeah.
Oh my God, no communications. Yeah, I'm a little bit paranoid on that too there, Earl. What can you do other than just avoid buying it? until they sort it out. That's all you can do. Could test it out. Could buy some and just test it out on a rabbit. And if the rabbit don't have the screaming poops, then it's okay. You think it'd work, Barry?
Hard to say.
I don't know. It'd be kind of like, I don't know. He seems to be okay. He's hopping a little funny, but I mean, other than that, he looks okay. He hasn't fell over yet. Well, all you women out there, and men too, I guess, that's wanting to lose weight, I can't think of no better way. Go to the Walmart and grab you a bunch of that lettuce and eat it, and there you go. You can get all those toxins out of your body.
Then you're left with another toxin. So you kind of stuck there, aren't you?
Yeah, kind of like you got to weigh your options there, But they'll sort it out eventually, maybe, hopefully. Well, I would eat salad every once in a while. I wasn't a big fan of it because it's not filling, it doesn't fill me up, but I'll eat it, but not now. There's no way I'd eating salad right now. I mean, I guess it may be a little paranoid, but unless I'm growing the lettuce and stuff in my own garden, then, I'm not going to do it, I guess. Oh my God, you stressed 8-3? Oh my God. You must have been really stressed out. 8-3. Oh, Homestead, he's been marked safe from all salad-borne parasites and diseases, so he can eat salad then. He just chooses not to.
Yeah. Okay.
He must have a high immune system in his stomach or something. Did it taste like fish ice cream? Were they really small sandwiches there, Carol? Because, we're talking about Japanese ice cream sandwiches that they can't be that big. Yeah. Ah, I thought since it was Japanese that it'd probably be real teeny tiny, Japanese, they don't eat a whole lot of that stuff. They eat a whole lot of salads and stuff like that. That's why you see these Japanese women, they're real slim and petite. I always wondered about that, but that's true. That's all they eat. I know back in my days when I used to work at Michusta here in Danville, which was owned by Japanese, they come in there at the lunchroom, and that's what they would eat. The real petite women. You'd think they would pass for 14, 15-year-old girls. But no, they wouldn't. They're about 25-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, they eat a lot of fish. A lot. They like sushi. Oh, that's exactly. I've never ate sushi and never will, simply because it's not been cooked and it's sitting there. And you got slimy stuff all over it. You don't know what it is, and it's nasty looking. My cats now, they'll eat it. I wouldn't touch it.
Yeah, cats could eat stuff we can't.
Oh well, Robert's got a point. That's why they are so little like Carol. They need to eat more. I paraphrase that. Yeah. Well, maybe Carol, she can't eat a whole lot because she's too busy eating them Japanese ice cream sandwiches. She gets her belly full of them things and she don't feel like eating anything else. Oh yeah, see, there you go. There you go. I don't have much of an appetite anymore. I know, I don't. I mean, I can, I eat when I'm hungry. And she'll fix supper and whatever. And that's what I want. And I said, well, I don't really know, really, just whatever you want to fix, and I'll eat it. But I don't have no appetite. Huh. Oh, yeah, that blueberry girl, yeah. You're leaving yourself wide open, Carol, for a remark from Robert by that quote right there. That's all I'm going to say. Both of those things right there, I love. Pound cake and cheesecake. I like them. Pretty good stuff. Well, it's almost 11 o'clock, 3 minutes till, and I think I'm going to shut her off right there. And there, good conversation and chat and everything there. So I'm going to shut her down. Appreciate everybody coming in. Carol, Janet, Shawnee, she disappeared on me. Robert. Let's see who else. I think that's about it. No trolls. We got 3 eyeballs in the corner. Appreciate everybody coming in and hanging out tonight. And again, I hope everybody's doing okay. Take care of yourself and take time for yourself. And God bless everybody. Y'all have yourself a good rest of the night and the rest of the weekend.
Bye.
Y'all take care. Bye-bye. Bye-bye-bye.